basically almost right at the halfway point. We're 7-5. Quite frankly, I think we let a few wins, slip away, in my opinion. But I think it made us really tough. We had some really good practices the last 2 weeks. Pretty direct conversations with the guys, and I think it's okay to have high expectations of them. This is Wisconsin after all. We play in the Big Ten, and we, all the sports across the board here are obviously doing very well. And so, but we bounced back with a great win yesterday. Great team effort over Penn, a good team that beat us last year, and they also made the NCAA tournament. So to beat them convincingly 6-1, but a lot of close matches. So. Overall we're 7-5. I think we're going to be right around 50, maybe a little inside the top 50 this week. We'd like to be a little higher, but we're still in a really good place overall heading into Big Ten play and giving us a really good shot to make the NCAA tournament. So yeah, we're excited for what's coming this week, and we start with Michigan this Friday night, and they've been top 5 basically all season. So a really tall order for us, but we're undefeated at home. We're comfortable at home, and I think last year we only lost 2 matches at home. So this is where you want to play this match, and hopefully we get a nice crowd Friday night, and our guys can definitely swing away. And then obviously then Michigan State on Sunday, which they're very good this year, much improved team. So just overall, we're in an overall good place. Could be better, but certainly could be worse. So. Guys are feeling good about themselves, though, after yesterday. Probably our best overall team effort from doubles all the way down, all 6 singles guys. So very pleased with that and excited for what's to come.
Talk about how the beginning of the season has kind of helped you shape into lead into Big Ten play.
Yeah, we started out really strong. We had a great win over Princeton, basically to start the season, a close 4-3, and we kind of rolled with that over some really good mid-majors here in the region. And then we had some really tough road matches, and I think those road matches are going to pay a lot of dividends, because when you go on the road in the Big Ten, it's going to be tough, and you might be feeling like you're down 1-0 before the match starts when you're on the road. And so those matches at Alabama, at Auburn, at Notre Dame, all matches that we felt during the match we had legitimate chances in all those, and against Alabama we were essentially 10 minutes away from a win, and against Notre Dame very close to taking a 3-1 lead and feeling pretty good about where we were during the match. But credit to those 2 teams for fighting back, because that's what's going to happen in the Big Ten. No one's going to walk away. No one's going to give up. So I think we're going to be really battle-tested, and that's the whole idea of the schedule we put together. Give ourselves the best chances against some of the best teams in the country, and then if you're winning those close matches, you ride that momentum, and if you lose, you have something to learn and build from. So that's been the idea, and I think we're going to be really ready to go this weekend.
You mentioned earlier that most of your losses have come like 3-4s, 5-2s, like close matches. You mentioned earlier that you were struggling kind of to finish and close out those matches. So how was the Penn match on Sunday a good example of you guys being able to close it out and finish in close individual matches?
Yeah, it's just sometimes you got to lose a few to learn what it takes, and every year is different. We went on a good run in the Big Ten season last year, winning those close matches, and then the start of this year was more challenging than last, and I think maybe the guys felt like, okay, the expectations, maybe was a little bit hard because we had higher expectations this year. We have an older team, but like I said, I'd rather have high expectations than say, just go out there and try your best. I mean, trying your best here is the minimum. It's the standard, but I think they just wanted it so bad. They care a lot. The guys are really good to one another, and they try their best every day at practice. I mean, I can't ask for more out of them in practice, but I just think they wanted it almost too much for a few of those matches when we went to starting with Alabama and Auburn, and you lose a couple and you squeeze a little harder on that racket. So, but Yeah, that early part of the season is going to set us up really well, I think, come Big Ten play.
You talked about how you have an older team. How have the younger ones and newcomers like Jason and Michael and Zach adjusted to, a kind of really close group of guys? How have they brought themselves in?
Yeah, it's a really unique newcomer class because Jason's a grad transfer, super experienced, coming from Penn. He's been in the NCAA team tournament. Mikey, from Sweden, he's a true freshman, and Zach's been a great worker and kind of earned his way on and walked onto the team. So 3 very different perspectives, and I think everyone has something they bring to the table because of those experiences. So they've meshed really well with the returning group, and they fit in, extremely well. So, but I think having different guys from different parts of the world and different situations only makes your team, more unique and stronger together.
Last week, you guys went to California for spring break, and while the match was canceled due to rain, how do you think traveling and spending the week together and practicing out in some warmer weather has really helped you guys bond and prepare for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think it just gave us a reset. You get away from your town, and you're not just sitting in a hotel. We're in San Diego for multiple days. Had some really tough practices. The guys don't have to worry about school. They can have a little more time together, dinners together, lunches together, hanging out on the beach, and just time. Student athletes are busy, and we're one of the few sports that competes in both semesters. So there's no real off season. So they're busy, and they're really strong students. So I think just stepping away for 5 days and traveling together and staying at one place and not hustling hotel to hotel and airport, and just having time together, and probably couldn't have come at a better time for our guys. And we were a little bit on a downward trend, you could say, but clearly the trip worked really well, the way we competed. And I will say yesterday's match was really, the look in all the guys' eyes. There was a lot of 3-setters out there, and that's been the season. Every match has been in 3 sets individually, and the guys had the look in their eye. They just weren't going to lose yesterday, and that was unique. That was different, and we let them know. And so I think that came from maybe spending some time together and bonding a little closer.
So you've had a very strong doubles play and teams so far this season. How crucial is it, do you think, going into Big Ten play, considering almost every single one of your wins you've clinched the doubles point?
Yeah, it's a big staple of ours. We practice it a lot. It's hard to know if you practice something too much or too little, but at a 7 individual points in a dual match, it is only worth 1. But having that momentum to go up 1-0 going into singles, when you only need to win 50% of the singles, it's a huge momentum and belief boost and confidence boost going into singles. But for a long time now, we've been pretty strong in doubles, and it's something we work very hard with daily, and in the fall probably even more so, just to have the systems together and build chemistry. And now Urban and I can really, during matches, just let them play, because we've gone over all the scenarios, and there's no time to think in doubles. It is so fast. It's a sprint. It's all reactionary, and you got to trust your gut, and you got to be courageous out there. And when you want to give up some court and cross and cover the middle, there's no hesitation. So the guys have put in the work, but it's also the ultimate team part of our sport. And I think that's where we're very strong at. And I think we overcome maybe a little lack of talent because of our team chemistry and the team-first mentality our guys have. So energy and positivity can overcome a lot in doubles, and I think that's why we are as successful as we are right now.
Have there been any guys or players or leaders that have stood out to you really through the first half, and you're excited to see what they do in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I think all the older guys. I mean, just yesterday, that was a huge win for Jared Pratt. I mean, that guy from Penn is really good. He's been in the top 50 in the country individually. Jared's been knocking on the door at #1 singles so often, and it's a lot of pressure to play out there. And this year, he's played really, really well. But that was a huge one. We're up 3-1, and all the other matches are in the third, and we were in this situation just a few weeks ago, and and for him to close the door, to get that fourth point is the hardest one, and it was really cool to see him do it. Sebastian Weil, he's been a beast all year, but he's put it on his shoulders to make sure that the rest of the guys are bringing the energy they need. And Gabriel is really emerging as a leader, and he's played at 1 and 2 and 3 singles at the beginning of his career. Now he's at 5, and it's a different pressure. I think it just shows the strength of our team, but he's been an emotional leader every day in practice and super professional. So, I mean, those 3 guys have done an exceptional job, and it was really on display yesterday at Penn. And I think that's maybe the first time, all 3 guys, you could see it. They're like, we're putting it on their backs a little bit, and each guy bringing it, bringing someone up with them. So that was cool to see.
Last season, you finished 6-2 in the Big Ten, which was 3rd overall, just behind Michigan and Ohio State. How is last season's success going to transfer, or hopefully transfer, and lead you into this year's competition?
I think just belief that this group. 5 of the 6 guys are back that were in the starting lineup from last year. So there's no having to convince anybody that we can be in the top 3 and the top 4. The top 4 in the Big Ten right now are all in the top 25, and we know those teams really well, and maybe we won't surprise anybody. Maybe that's something that we have to defend now. But come Big Ten play, everyone's ready to go. But we won all the close matches in the Big Ten last year. It was a lot of it, like you said, our doubles play. So we feel really good about those 2 things, and having that experience, and we feel like we can win the doubles point against anybody. And you're up 1-0, you can give it a ride against anyone in the country. So I think just belief and confidence, that we've been there, and if we can finish top 4 again and be in contention in every match, then we'll end up where we want to end up in May, for sure.
Okay, just the last question for me. You said that the team's very high on energy and positivity is one of your strengths. How would you say the team, how is feeling right now going into maybe some of the hardest matches of the season?
Things clicked yesterday. We've asked for more the last few weeks, and I think when they are buying into that, even when they're losing points, even when they're down breaks, to hop up from the bench and running out there and running to each other. And we talk about this all the time, where they got to play singles like they play doubles. They're always really good to each other and to themselves on the doubles court. But when you're out there on your own on an island for 2 hours, it's easy to have some negativity creep in, and that's normal. But yesterday was the first time in about probably a month where there was frustration when they lose points, and I love that. But then there was energy and positivity towards one another, and it felt like a really team win yesterday. So the time is right. We needed that one yesterday. We needed it for everyone. I needed it. We all needed it. We all feel a lot better right now. So, so we can't wait for Friday. I just want to add quick shout out. Women's hockey, unbelievable. 7 titles. I can't imagine it. Women's tennis, top 20, top 15 most of the year. If you haven't, come out and watch them play. We're always on the road when they're at home, so we come out and try to support when we can. But amazing job, and is Yvette here? No, not yet. Or maybe she came already. So beating Bama, women's softball, they're out there, so we see them a lot. So wanted to give them all a quick shout out. So well done.